Chief Petty Officer Dave Goggins is well known for his physical and mental toughness and for his practically inhuman level of determination. From barely passing his Navy SEAL physical screening test to becoming one of the world's best ultra-endurance athletes and the only person to complete Navy SEAL training, Army Ranger School, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller training, David routinely pushes his body to the limits.
I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. All I wanted to be was an uncommon man. And my whole life, I was not that. Much worse than that. So I came home one day from working at a job called Ecolab where I sprayed for cockroaches. Made $1,000 a month, weighing 300 pounds. And I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs. Navy SEAL training. And I had two options. To either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, and at 24 years old, knowing when I'm 50 fucking years old, I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed. So I started calling recruiters up. I said, I'm gonna go be a fucking Navy SEAL. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up and he asked me these questions. He had to meet a certain age, like a certain height and weight limit. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone. He didn't know how much I weighed. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, you're fat and you're black. I said I want to be a Navy SEAL. I didn't know there'd only been 35 African-American Navy SEALs at that time in over 70 years. He said I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter. Thank you. And how we can't. He said how we can't do something. And I did it. I did what he said we couldn't do.
Like, what was he saying you couldn't do?
It was something about if you're born a certain way, if you're born a certain way, you can't become this way. And it was totally saying that with who I am now, like I had to be born with some, not genetic power or some gift from God, but I had to have some kind of special gift. And when you put yourself in hell, that's the only time you can figure out how the fuck to get through that motherfucker. You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do shit. Some guy who sat up in their nice warm office and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. And he thought about quitting and leaving and his wife and his kids. And why am I here? Is it worth it? All this crazy shit. And still said and found out a way to get through it. But you have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you gotta open them up. You gotta open up and fight that fucking demon. Get in there, talk to that motherfucker, say what's up. And we all like to take this 4-lane highway. The easy highway. It has fucking signs, it has restaurants. We all love that 4-lane highway. We always step over the shovel. And all I did was I picked up that fucking shovel, and that shovel, I made my own path. And you may have big boulders and shit. They may be getting 200 miles up the road faster than you. But going through this path of life, this journey over here that you make yourself, that's incredibly difficult. When it comes out the other end of that motherfucker is some glorious shit that you can't even explain to people. And we're afraid. Bottom line is most of us, even the people who have all these theories and shit, it's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot of shit when it comes to this pure on guts and willpower and getting through shit. We have a lot more with a lot more. What's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So this is play a game with me. Let's say you're God, and we have a big fucking long line of people, and I made it to heaven. 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now, and you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. You have David Goggins. I see my name. I see all this shit. And God goes, hey, you say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull-up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.